Hello, we're Andy, the Maniacal Cinephile, and for Christmas, we're unwrapping a French horror film titled 3615, code Père Noël, aka Deadly Games, aka Dial Code Santa Claus, aka Game Over, aka Hide and Freak.
Andy, do French kids leave milk and cookies for Santa?
No, they leave champagne and croissants.
Deadly Games is a 1989 French horror film written and directed by René Manzor. The film stars the director's 9-year-old son, Alain Lalanne, who is now a visual effects producer who has worked on Avatar, Gravity, The Revenant, and The Batman. Our killer mall Santa was played by Patrick Floersheim, and while he hardly speaks in the film, he was known for dubbing the voices of Michael Douglas, Robin Williams, and Jeff Bridges. Deadly Games bombed in France, was never released in the US, and was previously only available via VHS bootlegs. The Alamo Drafthouse played the film a couple years ago and gave it a new life. The next year, Vinegar Syndrome released the film in 4K.
Now people will not see it in HD.
So, is Dial Code Santa Claus a hidden gem? Or a lump of coal? The neighborhood kids play in the streets, but when some bum tries to join their snowball fight, they all run away from him.
Surrendering is what the French do.
Evil, we're only a minute into the video, and they're 0.2% of our audience. Are you gonna bash the French the whole time?
We!
Living in a secluded model of a high-tech castle is Thomas, a mulleted child prodigy obsessed with technology and the action movie montage. I can see his teachers breaking up a fight at recess. All right, who drew first blood? Was it you? Susie? A typical day for Thomas is spent hunting his dog, JR.
It's what he gets for being a treacherous dog.
Et puis, libère le chien.
That poor doggy is shaking.
The boy lives with his widowed mother, Julie. I'm not sure what happened to his father. Probably in a booby trap somewhere. Then there's his diabetic and partially blind grandfather, Pappy. Jeez, he's blind, not deaf. Careful, he's gonna have flashbacks to fighting for Napoleon.
Tu me passes un croissant, s'il te plaît, maman?
Prends tes médicaments d'abord.
In France, his medicine is smoking a pack of cigarettes.
Thomas's relationship with his grandpa is actually pretty adorable.
Maman, Pilou dit que le Père Noël n'existe pas.
Non mais qu'est-ce qu'il dit comme connerie, ce pilou-là, hein?
Tell us how you really feel about that 8-year-old grandpa. At one of her many stores, his mom plans to go all out because Thomas is starting to doubt Santa.
Bon, d'accord, il a une intelligence hors du commun, mais ça l'empêche pas de croire au Père Noël.
He did pull all of his baby teeth out to capture the tooth fairy. On Christmas Eve, Thomas uses the Minitel to try and communicate with Santa. In France, the most common dial number was 3615, kind of like 411. You type in 3615 and search what you want, and in this case, Père Noël, aka Father Christmas. But instead of Santa, Thomas makes contact with a local pervert.
Tu devrais arrêter de parler à ce type.
The internet was dirty from the start.
Ça se trouve, c'est 3615, gratte-moi les fesses. 3615 code Barjot.
Shut up, Pilou! Grandpa says you're full of shit.
How does this kid know so much about kinky message boards? Before their connection is severed, the vagrant learns that Thomas's mother manages a nearby store. Hello, I'd like to speak to the manager. You see, her son isn't dead. That evening, Thomas sets up a security system to record any evidence of Santa.
Pas maintenant, JR. Je travaille.
All you ever do is work. I need a leg to hump.
La preuve qu'il existe. Et peut-être même que je pourrais le capturer.
I have a better chance of catching crabs.
The vagabond gets a job as a Santa at the nearby store, but can't keep his hands off the children.
We need an adult.
Santa, your candy cane is digging into my hip.
J'aime pas ta tête.
I've had blind dates start this way. And they were blind.
Toi, t'es pas le vrai Père Noël.
Holy crap! Marion should have asked Santa for some boxing headgear. Thomas's mom rushes in and sends the creep to the personnel office. You're fired. Now turn in your beard and your gun. In the office, the vagrant overhears that a delivery is being made to the manager's son.
Déposez ça chez les gardiens, hein. Faites pas de conneries, n'allez pas les remettre au petit garçon.
How convenient! Maybe include a list of the kid's fears and the order in which to kill his family? Dog, grandpa, and then mom.
Wait, this doggy dies too.
Oh, no, little buddy. So the creep hitches a ride to Julie's home in the back of the delivery van, killing the driver and the groundskeeper.
C'est pour Thomas, tout ça?
Me, before I'm about to fart.
Shh. Meanwhile, Julie calls her son to make sure he's in bed.
Sinon, il se met en colère et il se transforme en ogre.
En ogre?
For a kid genius, he'll fall for anything. Ask his barber. The killer then grabs some snow spray and paints his hair and beard white. Steve Martin's hair as soon as he turned 13.
And yes, the carpet will match the drapes.
He's coming up with a plan in case Ernest tries to save Christmas again. After midnight, Thomas is startled awake as Santa breaks into his home through the chimney.
Me at the grocery store, staring at all the ice cream.
The lights were so bright for this shot, the kid had to wear sunglasses between takes. Suddenly, JR runs in and attacks the intruder. If you pause the movie, you'll see it's really the director doubling for Santa. Unfortunately, JR is on the naughty list and Santa grabs a cake server.
His dog was Cake the whole time.
Thomas, convinced that the intruder is a pissed-off Santa, is caught in a deadly game of cat and mouse.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe, Tommy?
Le Père Noël! Il a tué JR!
Spoilers, Thomas! Maybe Grandpa isn't done watching Dallas! Santa Claus cuts the telephone line while Thomas sneaks his grandfather to the garage through his secret playroom.
I wish I had a secret toy room.
Right? I have to hide my toys under the bed.
Come, sit on Santa's lap, and he'll try not to deck your halls.
Piss off! I don't have any change!
Patrick Floersheim actually headbutted the windshield and busted himself open. Hello, Geico? Would you believe me if I said Santa Claus vandalized my car? No. I hit a reindeer. Thomas and Grandpa barely make it safely back into the toy room.
Mais qu'est-ce que c'est que cet endroit bizarre?
C'était un truc entre papa et moi. Ici?
A secret, like all the affairs he had. Thomas decides to go for the phone ringing in the office while using his armband to track Santa.
Tu veux que je te dise où il est en ce moment, le Père Noël? Il est... How big is this house?
One quick montage later, Thomas once again gears up and uses his security system, booby traps, and arsenal of makeshift weaponry to defend his grandfather and combat Santa Claus. Hey, wait, no, we're getting too close! Ah! Whoa, that was hairy, but not as hairy as Santa's unibrow. The killer Santa charges, but thankfully, Thomas remembers his cruelty to animals. Me, desperately changing the channel when I hear In the Arms of an Angel. The director wanted this angle from below, but was standing instead of sitting and got knocked out by the trap door. Thomas makes it past Santa, but gets lost in the maze, leading to his mother's office. Me, finding my bed through the maze of dirty laundry.
Tu veux que je te fasse ton numéro, Thomas?
Yes! What's the number for 911?
Thomas turns around and opens a window, crawling onto the roof. Thomas may have a strong personality and act like Rambo, but the film reminds us that he's only a child and he's in serious danger. The only time Kevin McAllister cried was from aftershave. Thomas shimmies to the chimney while things get animated. After several near-death experiences, Thomas remembers he needs to be strong for his grandpa.
Tu t'inquiètes pas, hein, papy. J'ai la situation bien en main.
And by situation, he means the Christmas pudding in his pants.
Back inside, Thomas tries to send an emergency message from his computer.
Yes, a tiny net is a death sentence. It's a net and it's tiny.
However, the killer Santa hears all the commotion and discovers the hidden entrance.
Tommy, c'est toi? C'est toi, Tommy?
For the past hour, he's been talking to a stuffed monkey. Thomas bolts downstairs and barely saves his grandfather. I still can't get over the size of that walk-in closet. Thomas then tricks Santa with his walkie-talkie and traps him in the sauna room. Oh no, he'll become relaxed and his skin rejuvenated. But Santa isn't trapped for long.
Now his Santa suit is wrinkle-free.
Thomas is able to fix the security system, but our killer Santa is ready for dessert. I'm still waiting for Chris Hansen to show up and tell him to have a seat. Little Pilu then pops in, probably to spread more BS. What a fun song to play over a kid's attempted murder! It's close, but the kid manages to escape. Now Pilu is gonna brag that he saved the day. Or some bullshit. Over the intercom, Thomas then sends Santa Claus a threat.
Moi aussi, je suis en colère. Et t'as beau être le Père Noël, je te jure que tu vas avoir peur.
You killed his dog. Now he's gonna have to kill Prancer. And Donner. And Blitzen.
Up in the attic, Thomas considers celebrating Hanukkah next year. In yet another montage, Thomas licks his wounds, prepares for battle, and buries his dog.
Whoops, but maybe now he can get kitties like us.
Wednesday, honey, you playing with a toy? Wait, what is that? Dear Lord, where did you get a human finger? Evil!
What? Pussies love fingers!
Thomas plants a tracking device on Santa's back, and we get, that's right, another montage of Thomas setting up booby traps. After all, montage is French.
Stinky pits and all, baby.
Sorry, everything I know about the French is from Kung Pao. First a sauna, and now acupuncture. Some people pay for this torture. An officer finally arrives at the castle to check on Thomas and Pappy, who has been stuffed in a suit of armor.
Qu'est-ce que t'as, Papy? Papy, réponds!
L'insuline, vite l'insuline.
I think he needs his oil can.
However, in horror movies, the police show up only to add to the body count. Me, sneaking up on that last slice of pizza. Inside, Thomas races to find the insulin, but the vagrant recaptures him.
Attends, c'est moi qui me cache. C'est toi qui t'y colle. D'accord?
Wait, the killer wants to play hide and seek?
Tu comptes jusqu'à 20.
Wait! What is home base? The dog's grave?
For half the movie, the boy is barefoot, and he ended up with cuts and wounds on his feet. This especially sucked, because for snow, they used salt. Ow, 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 ow. Now free, Tiny Tim limps his way to the caretaker's house and finds some insulin in the bottom drawer.
I didn't know the caretaker had a magic wand.
Thomas hops in the police officer's car and radios for help. Accused of cheating and hitting a tree. My first driving test. Our killer Santa chases Thomas into the woods, where he trips over the dead cop. Why do I have a mullet? That's for never leaving a new father under his tree. Thomas then rushes home to save his grandfather. Great, now he's in a diabetic coma with a concussion. The boy pops off the armor and gives his grandpa the shot, but Santa is back. Just give him the damn dollar and maybe he'll leave. The boy is saved when his grandfather finally wakes up and grabs the gun.
Either he's that blind, or something is being heavily censored.
With one bullet, he killed Santa, Thomas, and somehow the dog again.
Moi, je serai le premier enfant à l'avoir vu. J'aurai la preuve qu'il existe.
Next on his list is Bigfoot. His mother arrives home seconds later to find a stunned Thomas.
C'est ma faute, maman. J'ai voulu voir le Père Noël.
So, what did you do over winter break?
The director wrote the movie and cast his son once he no longer believed in Santa. It almost feels like a punishment for not believing, for that kid. Santa died twice. Deadly Games has long been rumored to be the unofficial inspiration for Home Alone, but edgier, with more blood and references to Rambo. When I first watched Deadly Games, I immediately thought of Home Alone, but was surprised that Deadly Games debuted a year and a half earlier. René Manzor once threatened to sue on the grounds of plagiarism, alleging they had remade my movie. Can I not do a French accent?
Oh, they remade my movie!
Nah.
Hey, Kevin's family was taking a trip to France.
Although tonally, the movies are very different. I mean, the band Survivor could probably sue René for ripping off their song.
Rising up, back on the... Wait, that's not Eye of the Tiger?
At least the film does feature an original Christmas song written for the movie by Bonnie Tyler. That has been stuck in my head all week.
Get out! Get out! Get out of my head!
Deadly Games has a unique setting that would be every kid's dream home. The cinematography is beautiful, the villain is wicked, and at the heart of the movie is the relationship between a boy and his grandfather. The film feels like a warm and cozy fairy tale, but after midnight, it becomes a nightmare. By the end, little Thomas's childhood is over, and Christmas will never be the same. Deadly Games is a hidden gem when it comes to Christmas horror movies. It's probably the best thing France has produced since the French fry. We've been Andy, the Maniacal Cinephile.
Thanks for liking and subscribing.
Happy Horror Days!